We're live. We are live. Duke and Tam show. It's been 2 weeks. 2 weeks. I think this is our third episode, Duke. I don't even know what episode it was.
This is our
Um,
third episode.
the Duke and Tam show live on YouTube and Facebook right now. I mean, it's perfect timing. We were planning on doing this today anyway. We are going to do it in person, but it's perfect timing now that the crazy shit's happening in the NFL.
I mean, I'd love to do it in person. I just don't know how to make it work. I mean, I'd love to
We need to
have an
invest in it.
idea.
We
I
need to
mean, we
invest.
need to have better background in your at your place. We got to have some picture frames and stuff. You know.
What do you mean? What's wrong with what I have now?
It looks like you're in a hotel.
I might as well be at this point. Man,
Yeah.
I spent the entire day cleaning. Okay.
Okay,
And
tell me all about it. Let's talk about cleaning.
We'll get to the news in a second. Okay, but I
Okay.
spent the entire day cleaning. Like, my girlfriend was leaving. She's like, okay. I'm like, okay, Duke's coming over tomorrow. She's like, okay, just make sure the house is clean. I'm like, okay, fine. So I'll just clean the fucking
Basically,
whole
just
house.
your toilet bowl. Basically,
Yeah.
just a toilet bowl.
Basically. So I'm like, I'll just clean the whole house. So I do. You don't come either way. I got it done. It's out of the way. But like, do you feel? I hate it. I hate cleaning the house. But I put a podcast on in the background. I was chilling. I actually enjoy doing it today. Has that ever happened to you?
Yeah, no, it's weird because I'm actually the kind of guy that really gets into it. Like I love it. I do like once a week, and I throw like my earphones on, throw on a podcast, and like I just kind of like lose myself in it. But I never do it properly because as much as I like it, my wife hates the way I clean. I'm
Same here,
never
man.
good enough. You know.
I don't know what it is. I think there's like some hidden conspiracy theory that women, they just have to always criticize your cleaning methods because it's like if you're better at cleaning than me, then like the universe might shift because women are obviously cleaner than men. So if men are starting to clean better than women, the universe is going to shift and the world's going to die. And I think that like Hillary Clinton's at the tip of this. It's a conspiracy theory I've been
I
working
love
on
it. New
for
conspiracy.
years.
Love
Yeah,
it.
just add into the conspiracy theories that women we have to let them believe that they're better cleaners, which they probably are most of the time.
My dog, every time I'm vacuuming, he chases my vacuum and he tries to bite the end off of it every single time. Is this weird thing he has, this obsession? It's like because he's basically my crumb catcher. Like whenever I'm cooking, whenever I'm eating, he's always below me, just eating whatever crumbs are falling out of my mouth. And he sees the vacuum as his nemesis. He sees it as as like his competition. So he's constantly just trying to smash he's like punching it, trying to bite the ends off of it. So I don't know. I guess
your dog is a very special character. It took us
he's so weird.
It took Snoop and I a while to get used to each other. Like I think I came on a little bit too strong. He didn't like me at first, but then like after a couple of times, now
you would just pick him up. No, you would just pick him up the first time you saw him. You just pick him up and you throw him.
Well, he's a pug, right? So pugs like they like to be picked up. No. They don't like to be held? Like, I feel like they like to be held.
Well, here's a question for you. Do you like being held?
Depends. Like, if you're bony and skeleton,
I like being held. Like, I mean, it would take a lot for someone to just pick me up in their arms because I'm a heavy guy. But like, I mean, if you could pick me up in your arms, man, I mean, I'd love it. You know,
I'm okay with being the little spoon.
Oh man, dude,
little spoon all fucking day.
Incredible. However, after about like half an hour, too much heat. It's too hot. I gotta move.
Who the hell is spooning you that's providing too much heat?
Yeah. That's a great question, man. That's a great question. I won't answer that.
Because for me, like I'm the one that generates heat. Like I'm the radiator. Like I'm a big guy. Big guys, we're always generating heat, right? So it's like
that's what it is, you know?
Yeah. It's weird. It's like our heart's pumping and trying to save our lives so much. We're just like, just sending out heat signals. All right, man. So let's just get into it. Aaron Rodgers stays in Green Bay, man. Like he's staying in Green Bay. Oh, by the way, Alex, Big Dick Alex, air quotes, wants to know why he's not on the Duke and Tam show.
Because it's not called the Duke and Tam and Alex show. It's called Duke and Tam show.
And then somebody else says Terry get some wall decor for Christ's sakes.
Yeah, no, man. I mean, listen, I know you've ordered it and stuff, but I feel like it's in boxes at your house and you're just too lazy to fucking put it
up. I showed you last time, man. It's all here. It's all right here. I just haven't done it yet.
Okay.
Now that I clean
I'll come over. I'll bring over a screwdriver and we'll just get it over with.
I got all.
I'll bring a level.
Come over tomorrow, dude.
Right. So Rogers, let's get in. Let's get into it. It's been a big day. There's so much shit happening. Um, Man, I am so fed up with Aaron Rodgers. I've
Why? What did
long,
he do?
dude. I don't like the dude. I don't like him. I find as an NFL quarterback, he's so overrated. And I know that I could just see my brother. If my brother would even listen to this, I don't know if he does, but if he did, I'm sure he would be like grinding his teeth with me saying this. But I don't find Aaron Rodgers is worth $200 million. Like he can't get past a championship round. Like
Okay, so I'm gonna explain it to you this way, okay? Because I understand what you're saying, and I'm not disagreeing with what you're saying, but I'm gonna explain it to you this way. How many starting jobs are there for a quarterback in the NFL?
well, I mean, considering that he's the MVP, I mean, all 32 jobs are his, right? I mean, every team would love to have him on their team. Absolutely.
Highest bidder,
Right. But
two-time
at the same
MVP, back to
but at the
back.
same time, it's a salary cap league. You have to build a team that's like obviously the quarterback is very important.
Of course, it's more
But at the
important
same
now than it's
time,
pretty much ever been. I feel.
but listen, the Packers are $50 million over the cap. They're about to sign Devontae Adams to a franchise tag. So you're looking at, potentially 240 million dollars that's locked up for the season. And I mean, you have to resign a bunch of other players. I don't think it really works, in this situation. I get it. I honestly, I understand it in terms of the Green Bay Packers. They don't want to be in a situation where they have Jordan Love playing for them the rest of the season. I get that. They don't want to roll into the season with uncertainty. They don't want to be like the Seahawks, which we're going to get into in a second, that traded away Russell Wilson. And who do they have right now? Drew Lock. Like, I get it. I understand that. But long term, you're giving it's a 5-year contract for a quarterback that is great quarterback, fantastic. But in the playoffs, falters. He
But the
doesn't live up
problem
to his standard in the
the problem
playoffs.
with Aaron Rodgers his entire career is that he's never really had a supporting cast. And the one year he did, he won a Super
Oh,
Bowl.
come on.
No, for real. I
He's
mean,
always had
tell
he
me,
has a supporting cast.
he has one
He's a
receiver.
No, he has more than one receiver. And also Tom Brady
Come on.
has dealt with a lesser roster than he has.
No, he
You know what I
hasn't.
mean?
No. I'm gonna say this. Tom Brady has made a lot of guys a lot of money. That's for sure. But the thing is that Tom Brady has had the opportunity to have a coach and a general manager that know how to scout and know how to draft really well, where the
It's
Packers do
always
not.
everyone else's fault with Rodgers. It's the coach. It's the lack of a
No.
roster.
Listen,
It's the GM. It's
he
his
obviously has a
girlfriend. It's
responsibility.
always a fucking
He
excuse with him.
obviously has a responsibility, but what more can he do other than being the best player in the league every year?
Look, I
What
understand that,
more
and
can
and
he
I
do? Tell
and
me what more he can do. It's like Carey Price. The Habs lost in five games in the Stanley Cup final last year. They lost the
yes,
game. They lost game 5, but 1-0. And they had the puck in the Lightning zone for the last 3 minutes of the game. I think part of it was on a power play, and they couldn't score. Carey Price allowed 1 goal in that game. Carey Price is not the reason why the Habs lost the Stanley Cup final. Aaron Rodgers is not the reason why the Packers are not in the Super Bowl every year. He's the reason why they even have a sniff, why they have a chance. And that's why he's worth $200 million, because the rest of that roster is pure garbage.
well, a couple of things. Not a garbage roster. It's actually one of the most exceptional rosters in the league last year. They had
Okay,
a
fine.
very good defense.
I actually
They
misspoke.
actually,
Aaron
but
Jones, like it's a good
of
team. It's a
course,
decent team, but
it's
there are
it's
much.
it's a
But
really good team.
I get what you're
and
saying.
I'm not blaming Rodgers for being the sole reason why they haven't got past the championship round, because it's obviously not him. The NFL, if anything, is a very unique sport in the sense that you're relying on a 54-man roster. You're relying on all of these players to even kickers, for example. There's no other league where you actually have like a special teams unit that can potentially alter the outcome of a game. I
Yeah.
understand that, but I just think that when I look at Aaron Rodgers, I obviously look. I would love to have him on my Raiders, and I think that I mean, for you as a Cowboys fan, you have Dak
Right.
Prescott, which I've said many times is I think he's one of the best quarterbacks in the league. You'd love to have him too. Everybody would like to have him. I'm not saying he's a bad player. I'm not saying he's not worth the money. I'm looking at the Packers roster right now. You're 50 million over the cap. You haven't been able to get a crack at the Super Bowl in a long, long time. You have a player you have a quarterback that is an absolute drama queen that always has issues every single season, whether it's with the roster, whether it's I'm getting a phone call while I'm saying this.
It's all right.
I have to work on the whole dynamics of this. Okay, do not disturb. You're right. So it's a quarterback anyway. So my point being is it's a quarterback that's always looking for someone to blame. There's always something like
But he
he goes
doesn't
on the
blame.
pat.
He
Yeah,
doesn't really blame anybody else. Like he just states the facts, and like the reason why they lost in the playoffs 2 years ago was because of a bad coaching decision. You know what I mean? Like that was they would have won that game had they not gone for had they run the ball and ran the clock out. I forgot what the situation was exactly,
but
but
does he not get any of the blame for the fact that they only scored 10 points
oh, for
and
sure, yeah, there's definitely that. But like
and that
to a certain,
they lost to the
they did not.
49ers?
Bakhtiari wasn't there. Bakhtiari's like his
But again,
pot his
it's
blanket.
always everyone else's fault. It's the
It's not someone
defensive
else's
line, it's the
fault.
coaching. I mean,
It's not someone else's fault. But if you want to talk about overall, you have to look at overall. You have to look at the entire picture. You have to look at, and I'm not a Rodgers apologist by any means, but I think that we need to understand that he's been the best player in the league 2 years in a row. And my only issue with this is not that he doesn't deserve the money. My only issue with this is that why would the Packers do this, knowing that they've had Jordan Love for 2 years? You know what I mean? Like are you telling me that he's not developed enough yet after 2 years of being behind the best player in the league? Like if that's the
I
case,
yes,
then we have a problem, because if they've
yeah.
invested into this guy and they don't trust him, where like what happens with him? Like he's going to get traded, obviously. He'll maybe, I don't know. We'll get into it. We'll talk about the Seahawks. What do they do?
It's a good point because I think that in this situation, I think the Packers really didn't have any other choice. Like Love really didn't develop. Like, I mean, after 2 years in the league, he didn't even get a sniff at potentially starting. And if you're in a position of the Packers, like you need to make a decision in the sense, like, okay, we have to make him happy. We have to sign him to a long term deal. But what I'm thinking is now, okay, you've given him 200 million. You're about to give Devontae Parker 30 million potentially with a franchise tag. How are you going to build a roster around that? How do you develop a roster around that? And I mean, I don't know what they're going to do. I have no idea like how they're going to be able to develop a roster in that situation.
That's the thing, and it goes back to my point, is like you're spending all this money now. You have two quarterbacks, one that you spent a first round pick on when you could have helped your MVP quarterback with a receiver or a right tackle or whoever else you wanted to get just to help this guy out. You didn't invest in him. He becomes a disgruntled employee, wins the MVP. You still have your first round pick learning from this MVP. The next year comes along, COVID, a few more drama things, like you were saying, Duke. This kid is still waiting in the ranks, but he's not ready yet. Bang, another MVP season for Rodgers. What do you do with Love? You have to trade him now. He has no value anymore. Because, well, I mean, now you don't trade him because he has no value. Like that's where we're at right now.
I mean, I understand that Rodgers had an MVP season, but let's consider also the fact that he played against some pretty weak ass teams this year.
Oh, you're playing against Detroit and Chicago 4 times, like you're 2 times each.
I mean, of course, you really think, and we're going to get to the Broncos in a second, but like, do you really think he wanted to go into the NFC West, into that gauntlet, playing against like these top quarterbacks? Like, no, he would never want that.
It's like my theory about the Pats when they had their reign. Like nothing against them, but like they played against the Jets, the Dolphins, and the Bills when they were
right.
Garbage twice a year. There was like you're guaranteed to start the season. You're starting the season 5-1. Figure you maybe lose a game to the Jets or maybe the Dolphins. They always lost a game to the Dolphins. I feel like. I think the Dolphins game at home, it was always like Miami would usually win that game. So I don't know. I always felt like it was just like an easy ride for them. So 5-1 to start the season. But like Rodgers this year, he's starting the season 4-0. I mean, Minnesota is a wash, let's say. He's starting the season 4-0. He's not going to lose to Chicago and Detroit. I think he did end up losing to Chicago one game. But just to start the season, just to say, and that division was a little weak, but you're dealt the hand you get, right? If I get pocket aces, I'm not going to sit here and be like, and misplay the hand because, I got pocket aces. It's not fair. Like it's the luck of the draw. And the luck of the draw is that Aaron Rodgers had a softer of a schedule, but he also has a softer of a receiving core than most people do in a pass-heavy league. In the NFC, where
he has the best receiver in the league. He has
the one best receiver in the league. Who's his number 2? Lazard? Cobb?
Yeah, Lazard. There's a Vladdy Scantling. Like I get it, but
how the Scantling is the drop king.
Yeah, but he has a talented roster around him.
Yeah, he
Anyway,
has Aaron Jones. Aaron Jones is a good running back.
Aaron's fantastic.
Anyway, you know who?
Yeah, I mean, I could complain about Rodgers for the next 5 hours, so we can move on.
You know who no longer has a passing game? The Seattle Seahawks, because they just traded away Russell Wilson.
This has to be one of the weirdest situations for me. I don't know what happened with the Seahawks. Like they went from a play away from winning the Super Bowl. They had what looked to be a pretty great roster. They traded a lot for Jamal Adams that they thought would help out the defense. It didn't pan out.
Jamal
And
Adams
they
is my used to be my favorite player in the league.
I,
I
same for
swear,
me.
when he was with the Jets, I loved him. I was like, these guys great.
I will say Jamal Adams, fantastic player, but when you're watching a game with him on the field, he's so annoying.
Yeah,
He's the only dude that you hear. He's
Yeah.
the only dude that you hear.
he's like one of
in
those
the
guys that flag
background
football that just
yelling.
doesn't stop. Yeah,
Doesn't stop. Doesn't shut the
Yeah.
fuck up. Yeah, and yeah. So like, I honestly I don't understand what happened in Seattle. Like it looked like everything was working pretty well. He was in a pretty favorable situation. DK Metcalf, Lockett, like you look like he had a really nice offense to work with. I mean, Pete Carroll looks like a great coach to play with. A defensive-minded coach that's really chill with his offensive players. I've never seen that before.
yeah, exactly.
And then midway through the season, we start hearing, he's disgruntled, doesn't really want to stay there anymore. He didn't really demand a trade, but he kind of let it know that
He did it. I find he did it the right way. If you don't want to be somewhere anymore, you feel like this time has passed. Like any relationship, this time has passed. You're honest and you're upfront, and you say, you know what, this isn't for me anymore, and I want to get out of here. I'm telling you guys in advance so you guys can prepare a pitch and try to get the best price for me because I know that I'm gonna leaving you in a hole. So now the whole offer. Do you know the entire offer? So it was Drew Lock, Noah Fant, Shelby Harris, 2 first rounds, 2 second rounders for Russell Wilson and a 4th rounder, something like that.
I mean, I feel like that's fair. Look, Russell Wilson didn't have a great season.
Seahawks won that trade, 100%.
They did, but it depends on what you're getting. Like towards the end of the season, we started to see like the real Russell Wilson. Like I really think he was dealing with a serious injury, a hand injury at the beginning of the year. It was really affecting his throwing mechanics.
Yeah, for sure. Oh no, we know it was. He came back too early.
Right, he did, and perhaps this is the reason why he was frustrated and why he wanted to get a trade. But I just think that look, when it comes to
it was his choice to come back. It was his choice.
But also like so whether we talk about a winner or a loser, it all comes down to what version of Russell Wilson that the Broncos will get. And I do think that in terms of the Broncos, we could say it's a loss. But listen, John Elway is how many years on the job right now, and hasn't been able to find.
How long has he been there? I mean, I feel like
I think about 5 years, roughly 5 years.
No, more than that. He's been there since Peyton Manning was there.
So, but my point, and whatever that semantics. We'll go with. He's been there for a while, and he hasn't been able to since Peyton Manning. He hasn't been able to find the appropriate replacement for Manning. A core quarterback to take over that team. In the NFL, having a quarterback is very important. This is the reason why the Packers are paying $200 million for Rodgers for this exact same reason, because they don't want to be in that situation like the Broncos have been.
Of course.
And like, when you look at the Broncos, and they're in a ridiculous division where you have 3 teams that are very difficult competitors throughout the season. I mean, you have to play the Chiefs twice a year, which already those games are impossible. I mean, they can make a 30-point deficit just like that at the flip of a hat. Justin Herbert and then Derek Carr, who, listen, I've been very critical of Derek Carr, but he's coming off of, the best year of his whole career, and he's also at the cusp of his potential right now. Like, we're seeing Derek Carr, he's much more comfortable. He's in a great setting right now. He's it's no longer John Gruden. It's Josh McDaniels is coming in, and he's going to bring in a very innovative offense as well. So it's going to be tough. So if you're in the Broncos position, you can't roll with Teddy Bridgewater and Drew Lock anymore. You need something new. You need a
Yeah.
bigger, better quarterback to come in and step in. Because if you don't, you're gonna lose. You're gonna lose the interest of that fan base. I mean,
Yeah.
Broncos fans will always attend those games. They'll always go watch those games. But unfortunately, like I just don't know what they'll do being at the bottom of the conference for the next 5 years. They
The
needed
Bron
something. They made a good move.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, the Broncos, listen, they're in a tough division that you have to sell. You have to sell high so you can be able to you have to sell low so you can be able to, get a good deal on a good player. And they did. And Russell Wilson to me has always been one of the better passers of our generation. Like the guy throws
Yeah,
a dime out there. But like
and yeah, and sorry, just to point something out here. Like, I mean, the Broncos, we don't. It's not a team that we know a lot about, but I will tell you, they have an incredible receiving core. They have Jerry Judy,
yeah,
who's going to be one of the best slot receivers that you'll ever see.
yeah.
Yeah, he's super mobile. Came off
He
an
threw out a
injury.
weird tweet. I can't read it. I don't know what it I didn't understand it.
Okay,
It was an emoji, but it was like the sneaky emoji, like one eye closed, one looking the other way. It was very weird. I can't I don't know if he's mad or if he's confused. I don't know.
I don't think that he's mad. I think if anything, like, okay, well, look, going back to the roster, for example. So you have Jerry Judy, Cortland Sutton, Tim Patrick, and KJ Hamler,
That's
and
pretty sick.
Travis Fulgham that I believe that they traded for. So they have like a really solid, and Javonte Williams as potentially next year sneaky going to be one of the best running backs in the league. So you have and also a very good offensive line. So this is going to be a perfect situation for Russell Wilson to jump into. Um, so I think that if anything, I'm honestly predicting the Broncos to be like a top seed next year in the NFL. Like I think this is what the only thing they
It's
really needed
tough.
was,
It's tough.
you know,
It can't you it's tough for them to be a top seed in the NFL because if you're that whole division, like it's gonna be I don't think anybody in that division is gonna be the top seed in the NFL. The reason why is because they're gonna be 50, they're gonna all gonna play 500.
they're all going to be splitting it. Yeah.
They're gonna split everything, right? So I don't see them, but like the Chiefs, I just don't see the Broncos in one season doing it. Like Russell Wilson had a decent receiving core in Seattle, and that division was a little tough, kind of similar to actually the AFC West. So and he didn't really fare that well so over there, but we'll see what happens. But like you're talking about the receiving core, that receiving core is fucking nasty. That receiving core is sick.
And it's also an exceptional defense too. Like they
Yeah,
traded Von Miller, and they're still a very very good defense. So
yeah.
it's going to be really interesting to see. And like I watched them all season, and they gave the Chiefs a hard time. They gave the Chargers a hard time. They gave the Raiders a hard time. So
Yeah.
we'll see what's going to happen.
I'm a big fan of San Diego. I still call them San Diego, by the way. San Diego Chargers. Chargers.
Yeah.
Can you imitate a Boston accent?
No.
I was thinking about this.
I could do an incredible Russian accent, but I can't do a Boston accent.
Okay, give me a little Putin. Give me a little Putin.
Yes, we are going to invade the Ukraine.
That's pretty sick, actually. So the Boston accent, I was thinking about it the other day. It's impossible for you to imitate the Boston accent without saying the word fuck.
Why?
Fucking
Southie. Fucking
Southie. I was thinking about that. I was watching a Bill Burr bit, and I was like, it's impossible to imitate a Boston accent without saying the word fucking. It's impossible.
Did you know that? Did you know that Spotify's down today and everyone's losing their mind? I don't know.
I actually wrote this down. Spotify and Bitcoins are down.
Bitcoin's down again. Okay.
Bitcoin's crashing a bit today, so go to save the nerds. Go check on Zuckerberg.
So fucking tired of everyone. Like, every fucking idiot I know is coming up to me, bro. Gotta invest in NFTs, bro. Gotta invest in. Shut the fuck up.
I'm not into NFTs, but I will be into the metaverse.
Shut the fuck up with Bitcoin and NFTs. Why is everyone busting my balls? Stop busting my balls about NFTs and Bitcoin, okay? Every fucking idiot from a fucking janitor, coming up to me, they're all fucking economic experts now with Bitcoin talk,
Yeah.
They probably can't even explain to me what it is, but they'll tell me to invest in it,
If you no NFTs I'm not into, but like I have a little bit of cryptos, and I want to get into the metaverse. I want to get into metaverse because I want to play like it's a game and you can make money in the game, which is pretty crazy, like real money. So that's why
I really don't understand it.
It's like SimCity.
I just feel like it's another way for corporations to take advantage of us.
And not corporations. That's what you have to, that's what people don't understand about this. And the reason why corporations do not like crypto is because this and the government doesn't like crypto, and they're trying to regulate it, is because people use cryptos to clean their money, to launder their money.
Well, I'm definitely interested in laundering money, so
Yeah,
you can get that started.
you wanna clean some money? What do you want to do?
Sure,
How do you
man.
want to do it?
First, I need money before I can actually clean it. How about that?
Like I've been watching. Did you watch Ozark? Did you catch up?
Yeah, I watched it. I finished it. I think we talked about it in a previous episode that I'm not a huge fan. I like the beginning of it, but I feel like towards the end, like I feel like with a lot of these shows, like it drags. Like I feel like after 2 seasons, the writing really has to be great to make it work because you lose interest in these shows because
Oh, for sure.
the stories they drag and you have to bring in something new. I'm actually looking for something new as a show to watch. Like my wife has been pretty deep into Love Is Blind.
Oh,
Um, it's
that's a
it's a
reality show, no?
fucking terrible reality show,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
there's something cringy about it that I just love.
Oh,
I
okay, so
love it.
you're into it, yeah? It's kind of like The Bachelor because I like The Bachelor.
Well, here's the thing, man. I can't stay
That's
awake
my
past
guilty
9.
pleasure.
I can't stay awake past 9:30. Like the show, the movie, whatever the fuck is on TV, it's gotta be fucking popping. If it's not popping by 9:30, I'm asleep. My eyes are out. I'm snoring. That's it. I'm out.
Really,
Like,
yeah?
and I'm telling you, like the minute I hit 34 years old, bam, I have no attention span for shows that drag. I need explosions. I need sex. I need like fucking drug scenes. I need Breaking Bad shit. I need
So
something to go crazy
Narcos,
for
did
me
you
to
watch
stay.
Narcos?
I destroyed that whole show.
Yeah,
I
Narcos is
finished it.
good.
Yeah.
Shows that Vikings is too slow, but there is like the once in a while crazy
I
shit.
if there's anything Viking related, I destroy it also. So that's all. That's all
Oh,
finished.
okay.
All finished. Yeah. Um,
I can't really think of anything. I mean, if you want action, or do you want like just like a very quick, fast-paced storyline?
I don't know what I want, man.
All
Honestly,
right, fine.
you know what I want. You want to know what I want? You know what I
What?
know? I want Russell Westbrook to get fucking traded or to get released or something because,
Why do you
dude,
care? He's not on your
he's
team.
fucking the worst. No, I know. It's because I was catching the Lakers game the other night, and like the dude was throwing the bricks like nonstop bricks, and then so he's getting chirped by the fans. They were calling him Westbrook, and of course Russell Westbrook, who is the most sensitive of athletes you can ever imagine,
But yeah,
literally
but goes
stops the
after people
game.
so hard.
Yeah, starts to go after one of the fans because he's being called Westbrook or whatever. Like,
That's not bad.
and I don't know. It just I find that look, I have nothing against the guy. I actually used to love Russell Westbrook a lot. Like I think
Mhm.
that he was absolutely he was incredible to watch. Like in the earlier days, but he's past his prime. He's kind of lost his step, and he just can't hit clear shots. And he's also clumsy. Like he's creating a lot of fouls, just not having the right kind of positioning. And like you can see that he's the kind of guy that has the aggression that he used to have when he was younger, but he just doesn't have the agility. Like he's lost that step in a sense.
Yeah, that's the thing about Westbrook when he made all his, like, when he was really good, and it's because he was so athletic, so ahead of everybody, so much faster, quicker. But obviously with age, like that slows down. And he was smart for going to a team with Anthony Davis and fucking LeBron James. I mean, like that's just. But at the end of the day,
Absolutely.
the pressure's getting to him, man. Like, he's been hated on for like 3 or 4 seasons in a row now. So for him, he's just tired of it, and I get it. But at the end of the day,
Yeah.
it's part of the job. And Westbrook isn't bad. Like if you're not shooting well and someone's calling you bricks, like I'm sure he's heard worse. Having fun with his friends. So when people, if your fans are getting personal, like when those fans attacked LeBron James and were saying comments about Bronny, like I get it, like kick him out. But and that's me, a pseudo Pacers fan. So but at the end of the day, if you're not disrespectful, Westbrook isn't being disrespectful. What's disrespectful is getting paid that much money and throwing up bricks like he's been doing. That's disrespectful.
It's just the worst city possible to be. Like it's a pressure pot. Like there's so much pressure on you to deliver. Like, dude, they won a championship and they're shitting on LeBron for not being great again. And it's like he gave you a championship. But that's the thing about the Lakers, because they're spoiled in terms of the success that they've had. Like they've had the greatest players of all time play for them, and they're at a point now in their franchise where they're stuck. Like they are gonna have to pay Westbrook like 40 million or something crazy next year.
Yeah,
LeBron is going to be racking in all the money also as well. I
as
mean,
usual.
Carmelo, they fucking signed Carmelo Anthony this season, and he's done fucking nothing. And
What
we
do you mean?
knew
He's played really well
he's been okay. What
for his
throwing up
role,
like 12 points max,
but
like
that's his role.
maybe.
But
I
that's his role.
understand, I understand, but for what you're paying him, like at the
That
end of the
doesn't
day,
matter.
at the end of the day, okay, um, when it comes to them playing the play-in game or getting into the playoffs, it's always going to be about your top 5, 6 players. And if your top 5 players right now include Westbrook and Carmelo Anthony and I forget that guy's name, Tyler Tucker. I can
What?
never remember that. I can never remember that dude's name.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Anyway, it doesn't matter. But they don't have a solid enough of a roster to actually make any kind of damage. They can barely beat the Pelicans right now. So it's tough. I don't know what they're gonna do. It's really gonna be hard for them to get anywhere right now.
Yeah, exactly. All right, man. I mean, that's sports. That's March 8th. That's Duke and Tam show, March 8th, 2022.
We didn't even talk about Ridley. We didn't talk about Griner, but I guess you guys are gonna probably cover that this week
You
in
want?
the
You want to?
maybe we just go over Ridley a little bit.
Yeah, Ridley's ridiculous. Like not he's ridiculous. The fact that he's getting suspended for a full season is ridiculous. Like
Right.
get
What the
suspended,
hell,
you
man?
know. Well, like when we saw the list there, Ray Rice two games, Adrian Peterson 5 games, like for beating on their women and kids. Like NFL, don't like. It's how obvious is it that it's all about money for you? How
Yeah,
obvious is that?
it's insane. I
Like
mean,
how
he didn't help
stupid are
himself.
they?
He didn't help himself by jumping on Twitter and just saying like proclaiming like I only bet 1,500 last year. Like,
Good.
dude, let's not bring this up. Let's just let your lawyers do the talking, please. Don't jump on
No,
Twitter.
I like that he did that because he's going out there and be like, listen, it's ridiculous. Like tell me this is ridiculous. He's looking for people to be like, tell me this is ridiculous. I'm being suspended a full season for gambling $1,500, betting on my team, not against my team. All right. So I understand that. Suspend him, make him pay a huge fine. What, $100,000 fine, 3-game suspension. I get it. But like a full season for just making a bet and was probably like some sort of sponsor or whatever it is. He had to drive to another state to do it. Like it was this whole mess. Like, is he allowed drafting himself in fantasy? Or like what's the line here?
And the crazy thing is that they're allowed to bet on NFL players are allowed to bet on other leagues. Like they can bet on
Yeah.
PGA, they can bet on basketball, they can
Yeah.
bet on tennis, they can bet on anything, but they can't bet on the NFL. And on top of that, he's on the IR. And let's not mince words on this. The NFL racks in millions of dollars in gambling sponsorship. When you watch the NFL, there's fucking gambling, commercials going on during the game, and they have banners on in their stadiums to advertise this. So I don't understand. Like it's not we're acting like he's really going to affect the game by trying to tank it. Like the NFL is not even it's the kind of sport that relies on the roster to actually perform, not on one specific player, let alone a guy that's on IR. So I don't know. It's ridiculous.
It's like pick your battles. I feel with the NFL. It's like pick your battles. Like what message are we trying to send here? That you don't want people to gamble, but it's okay for the fans to gamble. Like what message are we trying to send? What message are you trying to send when you only spend Ray Rice after watching a video of him completely annihilating his girlfriend in an elevator? Like what message are you trying to send? So the fact that the NFL hasn't been able to understand this and they haven't been able to, and they've mishandled all of these cases, they're dumb. They're beyond dumb. Ridley should be. I'm gonna go start a free Ridley. Free Ridley thing.
Free Ridley, let's do it.
Let's do it.
Let's make some t-shirts and sell it.
Yeah, free Ridley. I think he should be in the NFL. I think he should be playing first game of the season and betting on himself. I think he should go on DraftKings, put $1,500 just on himself, and see what happens. That's what I.
Say DraftKings. We need a sponsorship. Let's go.
But like, if Jimmy Garoppolo wants to bet on the Seahawks and the Rams, like, what's the problem there?
I really don't understand.
No,
But it's the NFL and Roger Goodell. I mean, they making decisions every year that I shake my head at. So this is the first of many, I imagine.
that's it. All right, buddy. That was fun.
Yes.
Duke and Tam.
All right, man.
As
Absolutely,
usual,
dude.
on the Hot Sauce Sports Network, hotsaucesports.ca. Follow us everywhere, Hot Sauce Sports across the board. You can follow me on Twitter at Terry Tam. And Duke, I don't think he shares his social medias if he wants to.
I should. I really should.
Yeah,
It's at Dave's Republic.
At Dave's Republic on Twitter. That's it, man. Appreciate all the comments. Appreciate all the views, the follows. Like and subscribe on our YouTube channel. Peace.
Take care, man.
Ciao.